right. Let's get 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 right. You already know what it is, man. It's your boy Deala T, and this is No Filters. Always appreciate you hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel so you don't miss an episode, and sharing this with the world. And of course, family, when you come in, get comfortable. Get you something to eat, get you something to drink, get you something to smoke if that's what you do. Cause you see the title, fam. Woo! Tee Grizzley and hot water. Let's get into this here.
Right now, the internet is examining Tee Grizzley under a microscope as overnight.
Okay, Nene Love Savvy TV in the building with the new membership. Shout out to you, it's Love, fam. We hitting that like button, subscribe, and we cooking.
Like a cold-blooded backdoor with rapper Tee. Right now, the internet is examining Tee Grizzley under a microscope as overnight he became the prime suspect in the death of a woman very close to him. What was once seen as a case of mistaken identity is now looking like a cold-blooded backdoor, with rapper Tee Grizzley being in the center of it all. Back in 2019, Tee Grizzley barely survived an attempt on his life that left his aunt JB, who was his manager, dead in his place. Grizzly claimed to not know who did it, and the death remained a mystery. But now, new details have emerged that seem to point directly at the last person anyone would have suspected of being behind it, Tee Grizzley. Hey guys, I hope all is
what?
well. Welcome back to the
Did you just hear that? We got, hold up, man. Let's get right up in here. Let's get right. Let's get right up in here. We hitting that like button. We subscribing when you coming in here because we about to cook. Tee Grizzley name has come up in connections with the murder suspect that murdered his auntie / manager. Why is your name coming up and having something to do with you murdering your auntie, let alone your manager? Oh, you better get your like buttons together, subscribe, we about to cook, let's go.
The mysterious death of Tee Grizzley's aunt. Let's get right into it. Some would say that JB was almost like Tee Grizzley's guardian angel, the woman who quit her job and gave up everything to make him a star when no one else believed in him. JB watched Grizzly go from a nobody to a successful rapper overnight, and it couldn't feel more satisfying for her as she was the only one who supported his dreams in the beginning. While she knew that helping him would end up making him a star, she didn't know that it would end up costing her her life, with the man she sacrificed everything for now being seen as the prime suspect behind her death. This tragic story of success, betrayal, and murder goes back to the start of Tee Grizzley's career. Born Terry Sanchez Wallace Jr., Tee Grizzley grew up in the west side of Detroit, a city plagued by poverty and crime. His mom was in and out of prison. His father was murdered when Tee was still a teen. With no real structure, Grizzly ended up making the same mistakes many misguided youth make, hanging out with the wrong crowd and following a destructive path. Even though Tee ended up in the streets, he still managed to graduate high school and ended up attending Michigan State University, but sadly not for long. In 2014, he was arrested for a string of robberies on campus. Weeks later, he robbed a jewelry store in Kentucky that got him hit with a sentence of up to 15 years.
This is Pod 5.
What?
The first.
Did you just hear that, fam?
Sleep system.
Robbing jewelry stores and shit. That like button, subscribe. We about to cook them.
It doesn't replace your bed.
But in 2016, even with no real structure, Grizzly ended up making the same mistakes many misguided youth make, hanging out with the wrong crowd and following a destructive path. Even though Tee ended up in the streets, he still managed to graduate high school and ended up attending Michigan State University, but sadly not for long. In 2014, he was arrested for a string of robberies on campus. Weeks later, he robbed a jewelry store in Kentucky that got him hit with a sentence of up to 15 years. But in 2016, he got out early, and what he did next would change everything. He wasted no time. On the same day he was released, October 16, 2016, he recorded First Day Out, a raw emotional track about pain, betrayal, and survival. Within weeks, the song went viral. It was so viral that even LeBron James posted a workout video to it. It didn't take long for the labels to come calling. A deal with 300 Entertainment was quickly signed. Tee Grizzley became the new face of Detroit rap. But behind all of it was Jobina Brown, known to family and friends as JB. She was more than an aunt. She was T's biggest supporter. When he got locked up, JB was there. When he came home, it was JB who paid for his music video. She signed him and funded his dreams when no one else would. She believed in his talent before he had any fans. She left her job, put her life on hold, and became his full-time manager. JB wasn't just family.
Mona in the building, fam. You already know. David, what's good, fam?
Her association with Tee Grizzley would lead to the end of her life. On August 20th, 2019, Tee Grizzley, his driver, and JB were riding in a Cadillac Escalade. Around 9 p.m., they parked near the 1900 block of West McNichols Road to stop at a house occupied by Tee Grizzley's family. According to Tee Grizzley...
Okay, let's bring it back for fam in the building, FAM. We gonna hit that like button, subscribe. We coming in here because we about to cook. Tee Grizzley name has got to do with the person that killed his auntie. Now, why your name tied up with killing your auntie? Huh? Your name tied up with killing your auntie, fam. So what you doing? Boy, let me tell you something. We about to cook. Get your drink, get your food, get your smoke, sit down, lay down, get comfortable. That man name tied up with his auntie, and we about to figure this shit out today with Deala T and no filters. Let's go, fam.
Even though T ended up in the streets, he still managed to graduate high school and ended up attending Michigan State University, but sadly not for long. In 2014, he was arrested for a string of robberies on campus. Weeks later, he robbed a jewelry store in Kentucky that got him hit with a sentence of up to 15 years. But in 2016, he got out early, and what he did next would change everything. He wasted no time. On the same day he was released, October 16, 2016.
Real quick, respectfully, just like Reefer King 710 says, R.I.P. to auntie. Let's keep going.
Recorded first day out, a raw emotional track about
all the war in the building. Nene Love, Savvy TV 76. Let's go.
So viral that even LeBron James posted a workout video to it. It didn't take long for the labels to come calling. A deal with 300 Entertainment was quickly signed. Tee Grizzley became the new face of Detroit rap. But behind all of it was Jobina Brown, known to family and friends as JB. She was more than an aunt. She was T's biggest supporter. When he got locked up, JB was there. When he came home, it was JB who paid for his music video. She signed him and funded his dreams when no one else would. She believed in his talent before he had any fans. She left her job, put her life on hold, and became his full-time manager. JB wasn't just family. She was the reason Tee Grizzley became who he is. Sadly, her association with Tee Grizzley would lead to the end of her life. On August 20th, 2019, Tee Grizzley, his driver, and JB were riding in a Cadillac Escalade. Around 9 p.m., they parked near the 1900 block of West McNichols Road to stop at a house occupied by Tee Grizzley's family. According to Tee Grizzley, JB decided to stay in the car, refusing to enter the house, calling it dirty. Tee Grizzley then stepped out of the vehicle and walked up to the house. Within seconds of stepping out of the car, an unknown man approached the vehicle. No words, no warning. He opened fire, striking JB, who was sitting in the back seat. She was struck multiple times. She was then rushed to the hospital, but sadly, she didn't survive, passing away from her injuries at the age of 41. At first, there wasn't much information on why this happened. The gunman walked away and disappeared, never to be seen again. No arrests, no leads. It was looking like this was going to be another cold case. JB's family and friends were left grieving with no resolution or explanation. A good woman lost her life and nobody knew why. At the center of it all was Tee Grizzley, who not only lost his close aunt, but his manager and his day one supporter. The only one who believed in him in the beginning. While initially Grizzly remained rather silent about the situation, a month later, he released a song where he addressed it all. The song was called Status, named after JB's middle name. In the song, he implied that the hit wasn't supposed to be for his aunt, but for him. Rapping in the song, "Look how they try to do me, but got JB. You saw it wasn't me and still shot. What she do to you?" In the track, he seemed to mourn the death of his aunt. He goes as far as to promise to get revenge for her. He even went on to offer $1 million bounty for whoever got rid of who did that to her. The song was basically what you would expect from a street rapper who lost a loved one to street beef. A hurt man promising to get...
Hold up, wait a minute right now, shut it down. This your auntie, fool. You telling me they pulled up and just aired her out? and nobody seen nothing? And if ain't nobody seen nothing, ain't no nothing, just nothing. What? This your auntie, boy? What's the problem? Hold up, Dave. It's David in the building. I see what's going on down there in the building. John Stewart in the building. We hitting that like button. We subscribing. We cooking. There's rumors to believe there's more to it than the fact that that man just sat there and watched his auntie just get slaughtered like that, and then him say after that the bullets was for him, that the hit was for him. So if that's the case, how your name coming up now about being a part of it? I heard that people was laying on him. And if they was laying on him, then clearly when they pulled up, they seen him get out the car and go into the house. So for them to run up on the car and air shit out, they knew he wasn't in the car. Say that again for the people in the back. I heard they was laying on him. So if they laying on him, then they mean they know who coming and going. And when they pulled up and seen the man get out the car, then clearly you know who in the car. And let me say this. Because nowadays, these stupid young dumb monkeys, ignorant mother out here, ain't thinking of using their brains. Ain't no way you open the door and didn't see this woman sitting here. Let me say that again for the people in the back don't get what's going on. You opened the door and seen a woman right here. You telling me you just let it air? That's like you opening the door and seeing a kid. You open the door and see a child in the car seat. Clearly you're there to do something to somebody, but when you open the door, you can identify who there. The nerve of folk today. See, back then, if it was like that for you, we coming for you. If your partner there, if your people there, they getting it too. But if it's kids, and we about to pull up and air it out, are we spinning blocks? Are we thinking about what we doing here, fam? Kids ain't got nothing to do with adult beef. So you got to identify what you looking at when you open that door. You see this woman right here. And y'all still aired it out. Somebody told somebody to pull up and do something to somebody. Let's keep it going. Hit that like button, subscribe. We about to cook him. Because we going to bring it to light with the darkness. And you thought he had nothing to do with it. You should. Just because you thought he did. Man, auntie dead. Let's go.
And further, were riding in a Cadillac Escalade. Around 9 p.m., they parked near the 1900 block of West McNichols Road to stop at a house occupied by Tee Grizzley's family. According to Tee Grizzley, JB decided to stay
Rockwood in the building, Marcus in the building. What's good with you?
Tee Grizzley then stepped out
Happy
of the vehicle
420,
and
what's up
walked
with
up to the house. Within seconds of stepping out of the car, an unknown man approached the vehicle. No words, no warning. He opened fire.
Hold up. He said, Dorothy G, you better hear me now, fam. Pulling up. What's good with you? We in here, fam. Get your drink, get your food. That man just said when they pulled up at 9 p.m., within seconds of Tee Grizzley getting out the car, an unknown marksman walks up and start to air shit. The stories don't add up, fam. They said somebody walked up and opened the door and hit somebody. Now you telling me within seconds of Tee Grizzley getting out, somebody came and aired it out? If it's within seconds, clearly you see his big back ass walking to the damn house. You know it ain't. You see Big Back walking to the house, Big Grizzly Bear walking to the house, and you... What? Poppy's Pad in the building. What's up, family? FAM, I'm glad you pulled up. We hitting that like button. We subscribing. You know we cooking. Get your eat, get your drink, get your smoke, get comfy. We finna dissect this food. Let's go.
striking JB, who was sitting in the back seat. She was struck.
Listen to the story.
Family. According to Tee Grizzley, JB decided to stay in the car, refusing to enter the house. Became his full-time manager. JB wasn't just family. She was the reason Tee Grizzley became who he is. Sadly, her association with Tee Grizzley would lead to the end of her life. On August 20th, 2019, Tee Grizzley, his driver, and JB were riding in a Cadillac Escalade. Around 9 p.m., they parked near the 1900 block of West McNichols Road to stop at a house occupied by Tee Grizzley's family. According to Tee Grizzley, JB decided to stay in the car, refusing to enter the house, calling it dirty. Tee Grizzley then stepped out of the vehicle and walked up to the house. Within seconds of stepping out of the car, an unknown man approached the vehicle. No words, no warning. He opened fire, striking JB, who was sitting in the back seat. She was struck multiple times. She was then rushed to the hospital, but sadly, she didn't survive, passing away from her injuries at the age of 41. At first, there wasn't much information on why this happened. The gunman walked away and disappeared, never to be seen again. No arrests, no leads. It was looking like this was going to be another cold case. JB's family and friends were left grieving with no resolution or explanation. A good woman lost her life and nobody knew why. At the center of it all was Tee Grizzley, who not only lost his close aunt, but his manager and his day one supporter. The only one who believed in him in the beginning. While initially Grizzly remained rather silent about the situation, a month later, he released a song where he addressed it all. The song was called Status, named after JB's middle name. In the song, he implied that the hit wasn't supposed to be for his aunt, but for him. Rapping in the song, "Look how they try to do me, but got JB. You saw it wasn't me and still shot. What she do to you?" In the track, he seemed to mourn the death of his aunt.
5 years ago, fam, your boy Z, I see you. Saved by grace, I appreciate you.
$1 million bounty for whoever got rid of who did that to her. The song was basically what you would expect from a street rapper who lost a loved one to street beef. A hurt man promising to get his get back and further incriminating himself. Tee Grizzley was left looking for answers, and it seemed he might never get them.
Hey guys.
What? So he tried to make it seem like he looking for answers. Man, hold up, Dirty.
Sometime later, he would end up doing an interview where he spoke about the situation and how she was killed. Tee confidently claimed that whoever did this was trying to get him, claiming that he heard it all go down from the house and ran outside to check what happened. He even claims he...
How the hell you know they trying to get you, but they see your big grizzly bear-looking ass running or walking that way? So if they trying to get you, why they ain't coming for you? We about to play the interview right now. Get your drink, get your liquor, get your food, get comfy right now. Put your ears on, put your thinking cap on, put your eyes on. We don't wait for the bullshit over here. We identify it, we understand it, we bring awareness to it, and we inform. Let's go, family. Let's get right.
to his aunt on the phone before she passed away.
Yeah, so we was at the studio with Guapo and Jay Swan or whatever. And I'm going to my cousin's house, my older cousin. He was real close with my pops, just like my pop's brother. And I was telling her, like, come in the house. And she's like, no, I don't want to go in. I'm begging her to come in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain areas, you just can't, you got to move right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't about where you at. I can go anywhere I want to.
Right.
But I got to move right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I'm moving right, can't nothing happen to me. So I'm telling her to come in the house. She's like, no. Because JB was kind of like funny acting about dirty houses and stuff like that. The house wasn't even dirty, but to her, she just a clean, real clean person. It's like, no, I don't want to go in them people's house. I don't want to sit on their furniture and all that stuff. I'm like, all right, I'll be right back.
Order mine in the building, Poppy's pad. What's up, family? We here.
You know what I'm saying? And they finally come to the door. As soon as I see her, as soon as I see my auntie, she got to open the door. I hear a whole bunch of shots going on. You know what I'm saying? Behind me, I hear a whole bunch of shots going on. So I get down because I'm thinking they about to come to the side and start, you know what I'm saying, shooting at me, and I ain't got nothing on me at the time. My cousin ran out with a gun. I'm like, perfect. So we ran out on the street. When we ran out, my driver was gone with no cars out there. I'm like,
She was in the. So what was the vehicle? She was in the car. Like
she was in the car.
Okay.
She was in the car on the street. So my cousin ran out with the gun or whatever, and we ran out in the front to see what's going on and to if somebody up on us, we gonna get them off us. So once we got outside, once we got in the front where they was at, my driver gone. There's no cars out here.
Okay, wait. Let me ask you. So, you had to enter the back door or something?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
Trip off of it, fam. The interviewer got to keep asking him, okay, hold on, because you're going so fast with the story, so don't nobody want to make sure, because we want to fill in the holes. So you saying like, your aunt, what was your auntie at? He like, oh, she was in the car. But that man just told me, he just said, he in the house, and he telling her to come in the house. So that means he got time to tell her to come in the house, and for her to make a whole decision a couple times to say no, and he got to make her come in the house, and she still like no, and then all of a sudden somebody come up and shit out. And if it ain't aired out, somebody walk up and hit the door. I mean, if you doing that much talking between the car and the doorway at the house, and you at the and her at the doorway, clearly you can see them about to get on you. Woo! Let's bring it back for the people in the back playing stupid. Open up your face and listen to what's going on. Hit that like button, subscribe, we cooking.
Outside, she was out. Mind you, okay, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? My pops.
Hey, some tried to do me, but got JB to promise to get revenge for her. He even went on to offer $1 million bounty for whoever got rid of who did that to her. The song was basically
Kevin NC in the building, living life in the building, girl. I got you covered. What's up, family? Saved by grace, I see you.
Get back and further incriminating himself. Tee Grizzley was left looking for answers, and it seemed he might never get them. Sometime later, he would end up doing an interview where he
what we doing, Lori? In the building, fam. Hit that like button, subscribe, we cooking.
Whoever did this was trying to get him, claiming that he
Buddy Tron, I see you, fam. What's up with you?
And ran outside to check what happened. He even claims he spoke to his aunt on the phone before she passed away.
Yeah, so we was at the studio with Guapo and Jay Swan or whatever.
Listen!
I'm going to my cousin's house, my older cousin. He was real close with my pops, just like my pop's brother. And I was telling her, like, come in the house. And she's like, no, I don't want to go in. I'm begging her to come in the house. You know what I'm saying? Like,
why he begging her?
You just can't, you got to move right. Right. You know what I'm saying? It ain't about where you at. I can go anywhere I want to. Right. But I got to move right. Right. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm moving right, can't nothing happen to me. So I'm telling her to come in the house. She's like, no. Because they do kind of like funny acting about dirty houses. And stuff like that. The house wasn't even dirty, but to her, she's just a clean, real clean person. It's like, no, I don't want to go in them people's house. I don't want to sit on their furniture and all that stuff. I'm like, all right, I'll be right back.
The dog in the building.
My people's taking so long to come to the door. You know what I'm saying? And they finally come to the door. As soon as I see her, as soon as I see my auntie, she about to open the door. I hear a whole bunch of shots going on. You know what I'm saying? Behind me. I hear a whole bunch of shots going on. So I get down because I'm thinking they about to come to the side and start, you know what I'm saying, shooting at me, and I ain't got nothing on me at the time. My cousin ran out with a gun. I'm like, perfect. So we ran out on the street. When we ran out, my driver was gone with no cars out there. I'm like,
She was in the. So what was the vehicle? She was in the car. Like
she was in the car. Okay. She was in the car on the street. So my cousin ran out with the gun or whatever, and we ran out in the front to see what's going on and to if somebody up on us, we gonna get them off us. So once we got outside, once we got in front where he was at, my driver gone. There's no cars out here.
Okay, wait. Let me ask you. So you had to enter the back door or something?
Yeah, I was
side door. Okay. Okay.
But basically, I don't even know what's going on at this point. Okay. So we in the front, I look in the street. I don't see no glass in the street, so I'm like, oh, they straight. You know what I'm saying? That's probably some, I didn't even think this had nothing to do with us. Okay. You feel me? Right. But my cousin still came out there with the gun though. So I was cool with going out there. I'm like, I ain't see no glass in the street. I'm thinking they heard some shots and pulled off. Okay. So now I'm mad now. Like, y'all heard them shots, why don't y'all leave me over here? Right. You feel me? You could at least call me and tell me, like, there's too much going on over here. Come on, we gone. You know what I'm saying? To my driver ended up calling me, like, and told me what happened. So basically what happened, they walked up to my door and opened my door. You know what I'm saying? So niggas opened my door, trying to get at me. Ended up hitting her up.
Where'd they hit her on the body?
They hit her like on her side and in her arm. She didn't hit her face, like just all on her side. You feel me? How many times? On the side with her heart at. Oh yeah? Yeah, on the side like with her heart at too. So she got shot like that before a long time ago with my uncle. Okay. His car got shot up and she got hit in the exact same place, but she lived. You know what I'm saying? Because she went straight to the hospital. Okay. My uncle drove straight to the hospital as soon as it happened. But
was she alive when did she die on the scene or the hospital?
I don't even. I think that no. She died at the hospital. She was still alive. She was still breathing and everything. She called me. She called you while she was shot. She called me.
What'd she say?
I was trying to talk to her. I didn't hear what she was saying. Oh. She couldn't really form no words. You know what I'm saying? But like coming for me because they opened my door.
They hit her 8 times though. And you have no idea where this came from?
No, I ain't got no idea where it came from. But it didn't even matter where it came from. who I felt like everybody was a suspect.
Hello, my name is Adam Ferrer.
What?
The Chief Executive Officer.
Makes it.
I look forward to you joining us at our...
You heard for yourself. Grizzly claims that
Make that make sense in her. Hit that like button, subscribe right now. We cooking. Make that make sense. That man just told me that she just sat there and just sat in the car. He had to beg her to come in, and she did. And all of a sudden, gunshots start firing. That man ain't got nothing. He running around the corner. All of a sudden, everything's clear. Cousin come out with a gun. They look around the corner, talking about they about to air something out. When they look, these boys found cover. Hold up, little boy. If you a man and you know your auntie in a damn car, you telling me you finna let her hang it? Like Lori said, don't sound right. He talking too much. That's the point we making in here. Miller, what's up? You better know when it's walk like a duck, quack like a duck. Damn it, it's a duck. And this boy right here is some confusion in his story. And he ain't got nothing to say about it. But the fact is, he trying to make it seem like, oh, auntie stayed in the car. I tried to make her come in, but she didn't want to. So then whoever came, they was really coming for me, but they hit her. But they said that they opened up the door and hit her up close and personal. You understand? Like Nene said, duck and knew. That's what we talking about when we cooking. If it was up close and personal with the door open, then why they talking about somebody pulled up and just started shooting at everybody? There are too many inconsistencies in stories nowadays when we're talking about people being unalive. Let's go, family.
doesn't know who did it, but he knows for sure that it was a hitman for him. Though it was such a tragedy, Tee Grizzley eventually found a way to continue his career in his life without his aunt around, continuing his life in the best way he could without her. While Grizzly seemed to move on, JB's other family members couldn't let it go and wanted answers. Answers they finally seemed to have gotten just a few days back when the alleged killer was finally identified. In July 2025, nearly 6 years after the murder, police finally made an arrest. A man known as Wu-Tang or Wu-600, who is reportedly affiliated with Chicago's 600 gang, was arrested and charged with the death of JB. Wu-Tang is deeply connected to Chicago's drill scene and has associations with...
Oh, look, fam, hit that like button, subscribe. We cooking. We got receipts over here. They done found out who hit him. They done found out who killed him. They done found out who it is. And who is it? A YN. Right here in your face. YN. So when you telling me somebody pulled up and was looking for Tee Grizzley, didn't identify this Grizzly bear, but you talk about he had time to walk to the door and tell her to come in the house and she didn't want to, and they still came in there and aired it up and aired it out. We not gonna play them games here with Deala T and no filters. Hit that like button, subscribe. We cooking. What is the reason why this little boy would want to take the life of Tee Grizzley auntie? I'll wait. Make it make sense. Why would this little boy want to take the life of Tee Grizzley's auntie when opening the door and identifying who you're shooting at? That makes no sense for them to say that, oh, shots just start ringing out, start shooting and firing everywhere. No. Because if that was the case, she would have never got hit. Why? Because she was in the car safe. Somebody literally came over to the door, opened it up, and started letting it go right there. What happened to the driver? The driver sitting there, then let the lady get hit. The nephew is in the house or somewhere around the house. Make sense of it, fam. How the driver all of a sudden gone ain't accounted.
Artists like Buka 600, Little Durk, and others from the Chicago drill scene. When Wu-Tang was arrested, he was caught.
Zay David in the building, walk on Wu in the building.
Getaway vehicle in the murder of JB. He also had a gun that matched the suspected gun used in the hit as well. Wu-Tang, knowing how bad this was, tried to make a run for it but was unsuccessful, and he was taken into custody. Recently, it was even revealed in court that the prosecution has cell phone tower data that pinpoints Wu-Tang's phone location on the day of the shooting.
King in the building, what's up, fam?
Indicating his phone was in the same location JB was killed, with records indicating he was there for over 2 hours waiting for their arrival. Now, this Wu 600's involvement in all of this left people with the question of why. Why would a gang member from Chicago be the man responsible for the death of Tee Grizzley's aunt in Detroit? It just made no sense. What was the connection between Wu-Tang and JB? Well, this is when things take a sharp turn and the spotlight is put on Tee Grizzley. See, over the years, Tee Grizzley managed to make connections with a few rappers in the Chicago drill scene. Rappers like Little Durk and one by the name of Buka 600. Grizzly seemed to be rather close to Buka 600, not only making songs with him, but having a personal close friendship. Buka 600 was even invited to Grizzly's wedding, where he was one of his groomsmen. This is all important because Buka 600 is a part of a violent, infamous Chicago gang called 600, which just so happens to be the same gang JB's killer Wu 600 or Wu-Tang is a part of. Now this seems to be the only connection between Tee Grizzley and JB's killer Wu-Tang. So it's simple, right? Tee Grizzley at some point must have started beefing with Buka 600 and the 600 gang, with Wu-Tang being sent in to take out Grizzly.
Never sue the other driver after.
Talking about hot water now, Dorothy G.
Without having to go to court.
Oh yeah, it's hot water in the building. Hit that like button, subscribe, family. We cooking.
Because even after his own died, Tee Grizzley has remained close friends to Buka 600. Is a part of a violent, infamous Chicago gang called 600, which just so happens to be the same gang JB's killer Wu 600 or Wu-Tang is a part of. Now this seems to be the only connection between Tee Grizzley and JB's killer Wu-Tang. So it's simple, right? Tee Grizzley at some point must have started beefing with Buka 600 and the 600 gang, with Wu-Tang being sent in to take out Grizzly's aunt. But after looking into that, that wasn't the case, because even after his aunt died, Tee Grizzley has remained close friends to Buka 600, calling him his brother on social media and still doing songs with him. In fact, Grizzly kept on hanging out with Buka 600 even after people started spreading the rumor that Wu 600 killed his aunt. When fans and internet detectives saw this, they started to re-examine everything, and Tee Grizzley started looking more and more guilty.
Hold on, don't do that. I know you just heard that shit. I know I heard it too. Boy, put your ears on right now. I know you just heard that. Said that man still hanging with that man after them people that got something to do with killing his people? What? Hell no. Now, I know for where I come from and how I'm living. You banging with the enemy. You kicking it with the enemy. So you can't tell me I ain't tripping right now that man ain't got something to do with something. Why are you still in cahoots with him? Why are you still hanging with him? Why are you even still following them? Because you know nowadays social media. If you're following, you're rocking with them. If you're not, then it's ain't that. So let's get right up in here and understand. Hit that like button, subscribe, fam, we cooking. We need to know what's going on here. This man didn't expose his life, and now he's trying to cover it up and play it like we don't know what's going on. Always too many inconsistencies, man. Man, auntie gone, R.I.P. to her. Losing her life playing with these little boys. Let's go.
Analyzing his story of what happened that night, claiming the killer only took out his aunt because he wasn't in
Jay
the car.
Warren in the building, that's
we
real.
know the killer was waiting there for 2 hours before Grizzly and JB arrived at the location, which means the killer would have seen Grizzly get out of the car and would have had an opportunity to get him. Tee Grizzley at some point must have started beefing with Buka 600 and the 600 gang, with Wu-Tang being sent in to take out Grizzly's aunt. But after looking into that, that wasn't the case, because even after his aunt died, Tee Grizzley has remained close friends to Buka 600, calling him his brother on social media and still doing songs with him. In fact, Grizzly kept on hanging out with Buka 600 even after people started spreading the rumor that Wu 600 killed his aunt. When fans and internet detectives saw this, they started to re-examine everything, and Tee Grizzley started looking more and more guilty. People People started analyzing his story of what happened that night, claiming the killer only took out his aunt because he wasn't in the car. But now we know the killer was waiting there for 2 hours before Grizzly and JB arrived at the location, which means the killer would have seen Grizzly get out of the car and would have had an opportunity to get him. Grizzly is a very big dude. It's hard to believe this man would have missed him walking out of the car.
Right.
Either he's blind or he wasn't there to kill Tee Grizzley.
Right.
People also started pointing out the story Tee Grizzley gave, where he confidently claims the hit was meant for him, not for his aunt, but then claims to have no idea who was behind it. How do you know the hit was meant for you, but you don't know who did it? People also point at the lyrics to the tribute song to his aunt, where he promises retaliation and offers $1 million bounty. If he were really planning on getting revenge, why would he advertise it and document it on a song? It made no sense. It was like he wanted to appear like he was the most heard about it all. People also bring up the video of him telling the story during the interview. Tee Grizzley seems really uninterested answering questions about the death of his aunt, instead of giving the conversation the respect and attention it required when talking about the death of
Monique Days in the building, fam.
Questions while playing Call of Duty. All of this made Tee Grizzley look rather suspicious. So now people started asking the question, was JB mistaken for someone else? Or was this a hit on her set up by Tee Grizzley himself? People questioning Tee Grizzley's close association with Buka 600 and the 600 gang, looking into the disturbing possibility that Tee Grizzley could have approached his Chicago
love Savvy TV with the sticker, you know it.
Eliminate his own aunts. But why? Why would Tee Grizzley want to get rid of his aunt? Well,
hit that like button, subscribe, we cooking.
Evil, the love of money. Remember, JB wasn't just Grizzly's aunt. She was also his manager and had him under a recording contract.
Okay, so let's get right. Because she was his manager and had him under recording contract, that means she had power. And because of that power, she can do what she want with it. So now we got to really use our thinking caps and say, why would she be in a situation knowing that she controlled his whole life? Why are we thinking that this man would have something to do with his aunt's death based off knowing the manager position of her power and his money? See, now something's starting to come together. Once I just heard that, I just heard that she was in control over his life. That's what that sound like. Hit that like button, subscribe, we cooking. That's what it sounded like. She was in control of his life. Not to mention other things that we heard of them having some type of relationship, some type of something going on between the auntie and the nephew. Yeah, that's a real thing. So don't sit in here and act like that ain't happening in the world. Let's go.
B was who initially funded Grizzly's career. She owned part of his brand. She was making money off every dollar Tee Grizzley made in music, which back then was a lot of money. She reportedly controlled a major portion of Tee's business. She could have easily had a massive split in his recording contracts, even owning some of his publishing rights and royalties. With her gone, Tee Grizzley gains full control and cut her out of the profits. When you add that to the fact that it took 6 years to name a suspect, and the suspect is from a city Grizzly had ties to and was also a part of a gang he's friends with, people start asking the question, did Tee Grizzley set this up? Is he the missing key in solving this mystery? Right now, Wu 600 is in custody, and he is being charged with JB's death. Detroit police say they're building their case, with everyone waiting to see what comes out of this. While as of right now, we don't have the answer.
If you have ever wanted to...
Wow, let's get right. I need to know my fam in the building. Drop an FAM for my fam in here right now. You already see the super chat, fam. Let's get right with your boy Deala T. And no filters, yeah, Dorothy G. Wow, crazy work, Nene. The thing we trying to make sure we understand is that they even allowed this to happen right on their own terms.
The next 4 months.
I will say, Tee Grizzley is looking rather suspicious. He recently came out and vaguely denied the allegations, telling people not to believe everything they see on the internet.
That's not true. So you think you can't be fooled by the internet?
But in this case, it's pretty hard when the evidence seems to point a big arrow in his direction. We know the music industry is dark and is known for its evil ways.
Did you hear that shit?
I wouldn't be surprised if case. With everyone waiting
Listen
to
up
see
and look at this
some
man
articles,
ain't
as
language.
of right now, we don't have the answers. I will say, Tee Grizzley is looking rather suspicious.
Shout out to you,
He
Monique.
recently
I
came
appreciate
out
it. You
and
know it's
blatantly
real,
denied the
FAM.
allegations, telling people not to believe everything they see on the internet.
That's not true. So you think you can't be fooled by the internet?
You can't be fooled by who?
That's not true. So you think you can't be fooled by the internet?
You can't be fooled by the internet. Let's get right in here. Let's get right in here. Let's get right in here. Hit that like button, subscribe. We about to cook this gangster. Let me tell you something about internet in real life and reality. Let me tell you what's going on with internet and reality. We know who people that's playing with AI. We know the people that can put out a false narrative. Shawant, Sean Starr in the building, yo. We know people that can play around with it. But you need to understand something. The information that comes out daily in the news is a different story than news being made up. Let me say that again for the dummies in the back, thinking people ain't got nothing to do but talk about people all day. No. This is real news. Somebody died. Somebody was somebody's relative. They died. They was killed. So don't come up in here and act like, oh, this fool talking about, oh, you can't be fooled by the internet. The internet is only playing with the information that was given. Well, let me say that again for the people in the back. The internet is playing and talking about the information that's given. Nothing can be said. And even if it's said, it's either backed up or it's not because of the reality that is shown. The reality that's shown is they just caught the suspect that had to do with the auntie's killing. Reality shows that that man is linked to people that this man associate with. Reality is this man still associate with them dogs that got his auntie gone. And then he talking about the internet can't play with you. What we playing with? The same information that you and I looking at right now that he talking about. Don't sit in here and talk that shit like we tripping, like we ain't got nothing else to do. Stupid. Because this is further letting me know that when you start killing family members, oh, hold up, Dirty. You start killing family members, oh, shit done got real in here. Hit that like button, subscribe. We cooking what we doing tonight. We talking about we getting rid of family members because of the money? This your auntie, the woman that believed in you since day one. The woman believed in your dumb ass when you was locked up and doing stupid shit that nobody cared about. And you gonna get her gone because of you, oh, because all your money tied up with her? Newsflash, dummies. Get your money right. Get your business together. You can get all the money in the world, but if the money ain't put up where it need to be put up at and put up in the right position, we don't survive tomorrow. Why? Because of shit like this. Getting your money, putting your money in situations and other situations in people's hands and finding your shit gone some type of way, somehow. And now you got to go lock and load and kill somebody to get your money back. It's the love of money that's the root of evil. It's never money. Prosperity is for all. Mark G in the building. Let's get real. You ain't got to relate. But it's people out here that do relate. And because of that, we bringing light to darkness. Knowing that this man has something to do with his auntie not being here. Let's go.
But in this case, it's pretty hard when the evidence seems to point a big arrow in his direction. We know the music industry is dark and is known for its evil ways. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Tee Grizzley is truly behind this all. One thing that seems clear, JB didn't deserve this. especially not by the hands of a man she was willing to sacrifice everything for. JB was more than an aunt and a manager to Tee Grizzley. She was the heart of his story. Her death was tragic, but was it more than a case of mistaken identity? Was she really caught in the crossfires, or was she sacrificed for the love of greed? JB deserves justice for her family, and so her soul can truly rest in peace. Well, I'm gonna end this
That's
one here.
crazy
I wanna
word
thank you all
for them to
watching,
say
and
that.
I'll see
Because
you
ain't no way
guys
for
in
them
the
to even
next one.
think that ain't the right place. But see, because of that, we had to bring light to understand the real story and what's really going on. And then on top of that, now we finna tap into knowing the update of what's going on. The trial has been set. Everything has been put into place. Mona Thompson says there's no amount of money would ever make me cross my family like this. I have too much love for my family. You already know what it is, Mona. FAM in the building. Without FAM, we don't get nowhere. We see what it is for the donation. We see the super chat. It's all love, family. Let's keep it going.
The bunny.
Because at the end of the day, we only got to make a choice to know what we need and know that fam gonna keep us going.
Tee Grizzley paid for the hit. Let's do it. The rumors that Tee Grizzley paid for his aunt/manager to be killed started off as a simple conspiracy. It's now escalated to the point where the murder suspect defense is in court saying that Tee Grizzley paid for the hit. Let's do a quick recap just to make sure everybody is caught up on it.
Woo! Did you not hear that?
Caught up and didn't watch the other two videos.
That man said that that little boy who shot his auntie dead is in there singing like a bird and said that this man had something to do with it. Oh, you better get your popcorn right now. Hit that like button, subscribe. We about to cook. Let's go, family.
You can go to the Tee Grizzley playlist to get caught up. But the rumors that Tee Grizzley paid for his aunt/manager to be killed started off as a simple conspiracy. It's now escalated to the point where the murder suspect defense is in court saying that Tee Grizzley paid for the hit. Let's do a quick recap just to make sure everybody is caught up on this situation. And if you're not caught up and didn't watch the other two videos, you can go to the Tee Grizzley playlist to get caught up. But Tee Grizzley auntie Jobina Brown was shot and killed in 2019.
Sad to have to report this, but Jobina J.B. Brown, the manager and aunt of Tee Grizzley, was shot and killed in Detroit on Tuesday night, August 20th. Comments about her death began surfacing Wednesday, August 21st on social media before her passing was confirmed by TMZ. According to law enforcement sources, a shooter opened fire on Grizzly's Cadillac Escalade while the vehicle was traveling around Detroit. The gunman allegedly approached on foot and shot Brown, who was sitting in the back seat in her left side. Grizzly was reportedly riding in the passenger seat and got out of the vehicle as the shooter approached. The driver said the attacker fired 3 or 4 shots and noted that Brown screamed before the gunfire began. Brown was rushed to a local hospital but died from her wounds. She was 41 years old. Police don't know if Grizzly was the intended target of the attack. He and the driver were unharmed.
Let's continue the brief recap before we get into the new details, because it's crazy. It left me stunned. So if you watched my last video, you know that Tee Grizzley did an interview. During this interview, Tee Grizzley detailed exactly what took place moments before the shootout. Tee Grizzley and Jobina was riding around in their Chrysler 300 with a driver. They had to make a stop before getting to their destination. They stopped at Tee Grizzley's family house from his daddy's side. When they stopped there, Tee Grizzley got out from the back driver's side. Jobina was sitting in the back passenger side. When Tee Grizzley got out and walked to the porch, gunmen came, opened up the back passenger side, shot into the vehicle, and killed Jobina. Tee Grizzley says...
So that mean when he said that he was at the door asking his auntie to come in the house, and he said that she funny about houses being dirty as hell and that she didn't want to come in from jump, and that he kept asking her, how long did it take to ask her? How long was you there asking her? I want to know this shit. See, this is where you get caught lying, fool. Just stupid ass. Hit that like button, subscribe, family, cooking. He in here lying, talking about he asked her to come in the house. Ain't no time to ask her that many damn times. What you talking about? Stupid ass. He need to stick smacked out of him. And let me tell you something else. His cousin should have beat his ass. His cousin should have beat his ass. His uncle should have whooped his ass. Who else? The whole family. Stupid ass. Because if it was you or me, boy, we found out your... Let's go.
Gunman came, opened up the back, exactly what took place moments before the shootout. Tee Grizzley and Jobina was riding around in their Chrysler 300 with a driver. They had to make a stop before getting to their destination. They stopped at Tee Grizzley's family house from his daddy's side. When they stopped there, Tee Grizzley got out from the back driver's side. Jobina was sitting in the back passenger side. When Tee Grizzley got out and walked to the porch, gunman came, opened up the back passenger side, shot into the vehicle, and killed Jobina. Tee Grizzley says the shooters were looking for him, and that's why they opened up the back passenger side, because they thought that's where he was sitting.
Still breathing and everything. She called me.
She called you?
While she was shot, she called me.
Even when your room is 80 degrees, your bed is 55. That's the pod. A cooling cover that...
What'd she say?
I was trying to talk to her. I didn't hear what she was saying. Oh, she couldn't really form.
Do you hear what the hell he just said? He said his auntie called his phone. Hit that like, button, subscribe, fam, we cooking. He said his auntie called his phone while she was shot. He couldn't understand what she was saying. He's saying that shit so regular like he was ordering pizza. Listen to him.
Passenger side, shot into the vehicle, and killed Jobina. Tee Grizzley says the shooters were looking for him, and that's why they opened up the back passenger side, because they thought that's where he was sitting.
Still breathing and everything. She called me.
She called you?
While she was shot, she called me.
What'd she say?
I was trying to talk to her. I didn't hear what she was saying.
Oh.
She couldn't really form no words. You know what I'm saying? But, like, coming for me because they opened my door.
Okay.
They were shooting in the car. They hit her 8 times, though.
And you have no idea where this came from?
No, I ain't got no idea where it came from, but it didn't even matter where it came from. I felt like everybody was a suspect. I felt like everybody was a suspect.
Tee Grizzley was correct. Everybody was a suspect. But we'll get to that later and exactly what that means. But let's continue the brief recap. Wu Thing, a.k.a. Wu 600, was arrested for the murder of Tee Grizzley's aunt. Now,
Lade Lover, what's up with you? Tee Grizzley just tried something to do with his auntie getting murdered.
Associate, who was the groomsman in Tee Grizzley's
Hit
wedding.
that like, button, subscribe, fam, we cooking.
Was arrested for the murder of Tee Grizzley's aunt that Tee Grizzley believed was targeted for him. Tee Grizzley
suspect. I felt like everybody was a suspect.
Tee Grizzley was correct. Everybody was a suspect. But we'll get to that later and exactly what that means. But let's continue the brief recap. Wu Thing, a.k.a. Wu 600, was arrested for the murder of Tee Grizzley's aunt. Now, Wu Thing, a.k.a. Wu 600, is from 600. He's Tee Grizzley's associate, and he's Buka 600 associate, who was the groomsman in Tee Grizzley's wedding. After Wu 600 was arrested for the murder of Tee Grizzley's aunt, that Tee Grizzley believed was targeted for him, Tee Grizzley continued to hang out with 600 members like Buka 600. Wu Thing was initially arrested for the murder because he was pulled over in Chicago while sitting in an alleyway in a stolen vehicle, as well as being in possession of a firearm. The stolen vehicle that he was sitting in the alleyway was actually the getaway vehicle used in the murder of Tee Grizzley's aunt. And the firearm, after ballistic...
Lade Lover, it's all good. I appreciate you, family.
The murder of Tee Grizzley's auntie. And the cell phone towers confirmed that Wu Thing was actually at the location for 2 hours before Tee Grizzley and his aunt got there. Why would you hiding out at that location with the murder vehicle and the
what?
Obviously, you are involved in the murder. But it also opened up...
They just said that the cell phone tower tracks this man's cell phone sitting around the area and house of where the auntie was killed at for 2 hours. So that further let me know of my point I made earlier with family and her. What I say? If you seen his big grizzly back ass walking to the damn door or walking through the alley or walking anywhere away from the car, you know he's not in the car. So now that the murderers was there 2 hours early, that means they had dinner laying on them. Shit, they probably called some chicks to pull up laying on them. They probably had another quick White Castle's burger laying on them. They probably sat there and played cards laying on them. I know they smoked a bunch of blunts laying on them. They had a party laying on them for 2 hours. And you telling me when they pulled up, y'all didn't know who got out the car and went in the house? Y'all didn't know when y'all opened the door, let alone you identify who when you opened the door what's in front of you. But if you was there for 2 hours, you know what's going on. You are fully aware of what you're about to do. And you have 2 hours to plan it, let alone premeditate it before that day. Oh, everybody's getting buried in this picture. Let's keep it going. Hit that like button, subscribe, we cooked.
More room for suspicion for Tee Grizzley. If this was a stop that was out the blue, it was a stop that came up while you was in the vehicle and you just made an emergency stop somewhere to grab something, then how did the shooters know to be at that location for 2 hours? It didn't make sense.
That's what Dorothy G said. They probably was signal to get out the car. You right.
Why would they open
Shout out to you, fam.
If they were looking for you.
FAM in here making sense.
And it didn't make sense to the police either. The police chief wasn't buying Tee Grizzley's story either. My sources told me, and when I say sources, understand this when I tell you this. I'm not talking about hearsay. I'm not talking about associates. I'm talking, everything I tell you, they've been in the room when it happened.
Woo!
I'm not talking about, hey, yo, I heard this. Hey, yo, Pookie told me. No, I'm talking about when I tell you something in this video, understand, the person I heard it from was in the room when it happened.
Business.
The person that told me is connected directly to the situation.
Standing on beat.
Police chief looked Tee Grizzley in his eyes and told him, I know you involved somehow. I'm going to get down to the bottom of this. The police chief thought this.
The police chief
thought that.
Let me say that again.
I know you involved somehow.
Police chief.
I'm going to get down to the bottom of this. The police chief thought this. The police chief thought that Tee Grizzley was involved somehow. They just couldn't prove it. They just couldn't connect the dots because people wasn't talking. Whoever this Wu Thing guy is, he been quiet. That's until he went to that courtroom today.
Wow.
That's until he went to that courtroom. Oh, and we're going to talk about what happened in that courtroom. It's not looking good for Tee Grizzley, what took place in that courtroom. But the police chief told Tee Grizzley, we know you involved somehow. Now, you could say the police chief is salty. They got something against Tee Grizzley. They got a vendetta against Tee Grizzley. Okay, you can probably go with that. But when the police chief is telling Tee Grizzley that to his face, and he's telling Jobina Brown's family to their face, hey, we know something is up. The police chief told Jobina Brown's sister and Jobina Brown's mother that they believe that Tee Grizzley is involved somehow. Now, Tee Grizzley became a suspect almost initially because the police chief discovered, so Tee Grizzley's uncle was married to Jobina Brown. The uncle went to jail 3 months before her death. Within those 3 months, Tee Grizzley began an intimate relationship with Jobina Brown.
Oh, hot water heater, hot water heater. Bam, 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 bam. It's that DJ sound alarm. Bam, 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 bam. We just got the bomb, drop a bomb, hit that like button, subscribe. We cooking like never before. Did you hear what I just heard, fam? Tell me you heard what I just heard right now. Order mine, did you hear what happened right now? Fam in here, FAM, did you hear what I just heard? Oh, let me bring it back because somebody lacking in here. Let's go.
Was initially Jobina Brown's sister,
King,
and Jobina Brown's mother that they believe that Tee Grizzley is involved somehow.
That's your auntie
now,
and your
Tee
grandma.
Grizzley became a suspect almost initially because the police chief discovered, so Tee Grizzley's uncle was married to Jobina Brown.
The uncle?
The uncle went to jail 3 months before her death. Within those 3 months, Tee Grizzley began an intimate relationship with Jobina Brown. Police chief went together for that's messy. That could obviously lead to something. But that's before they began to put the puzzle together. Tee Grizzley and Jobina never fully admitted that they were intimate, but I was told that family members began to figure it out fairly quickly, and it was starting to get around. Could Tee Grizzley maybe have gone the extreme to cover it up? Maybe. Now, the rumors that Jobina Brown was pregnant at the time of her death is false. But where those rumors came from makes things so much worse for Tee Grizzley. The rumors that Jobina Brown was pregnant came from court, and it wasn't a prosecution who put that theory out there. It was the defense. It was Wu Thing's defense attorney. You see, Wu Thing is the murder suspect in this trial. Whatever his defense attorney say came from Wu Thing. See, street dudes is finding creative ways to tell nowadays. They telling through their lawyers, right? They won't get their butt up on that.
See, like he said, yeah, see, snitching today is different. Let's think about Gunna and Young Thug. Gunna never said nothing out of his mouth verbally when he snitched. But what he did do is he signed a paper that said, this is true, this is true, this is real, this is that, this is not, this person did that. Basically, the lawyer's typing up all of the snitching, and you basically signing and giving your consent to it. So you're not verbally snitching, nigga. My bad, excuse me. You sign snitching. Ooh, you better put that on a shirt. You sign snitching. See, you're snitching verbally. You can snitch physically. But when you sign snitching, that means you just signing off on talking. You signing off on what happened. You giving consent to whatever the people said you did it. Or they did it who you was with. So that's exactly what's going on with this guy. He signed snitching. He's signing his life on the line saying this is what the people said, that's what they did. He giving the consent to say, yes, they did do that, no matter what happened and where they was at. There's no difference. Snitch verbally, sign snitch, physically snitch. Shit, you can sign language snitch. Better shut up. Simpson in the building. You better. But that's what he did. He signed snitching. He's signing condolences. He's signing contempt. He's signing all of the thoughts of saying, oh yeah, they did it. So I'm going to just put my initials right there that can show consent that they did it. You a snitch if that's what you did, if you signed your way out. You signed snitching? Is that what you doing? How many of y'all signed snitch? How many of y'all just snitched? How many of you all was in a situation you couldn't handle, but yet you told to get out of it? You wasn't built for it. To tell you something, if you ain't built for it, you better get out of it now. Ha! Hit that like button, subscribe, we cooking. That little boy is not built for what he did. You understand? Because he in there singing like a bird. Let's keep it going.
Particular stand and point that hand and tell it off, but they gonna tell through their lawyer. The defense attorney, who is responsible for getting Wu Thing off, he came to court and he says, listen, obviously, Tee Grizzley put the hit out on Jobina Brown. He said that in court.
Hey, listen up. Are you a real estate investor or considering starting investing in real estate?
Man, what?
If so, then there are 3 things.
Transcripts will prove it. And he also...
Think about something. If Tee Grizzley had something to do with hiring them, murder for hire, clearly he either didn't pay his debt or he fell out with somebody. But between the situation happening 5 years ago and now this man is in there telling them that this man was hired to do that, that means clearly he's living out, looking out for his life, or Tee Grizzley didn't pay his dues. Hit that like button, subscribe, we cooking, fam. Either Tee Grizzley didn't pay his dues or something of that nature, but there's no way that somebody do that at that time and then all of a sudden today they saying, oh, you had something to do with it. Oh, you was a part of it. Oh, I did it because you wanted me to do it. Why would he be singing like a bird, like a choir? You would think it was because he's young. He's a kid. Everybody that was in that picture that was a part of his gang, his swag, all was young. So that further lets you know that they can do the actions, but they can't handle the time. You got to understand something, fam. If you can't handle what come with the streets, get out the streets. You know how many people don't go out because they can't handle what's out there? Sit your ass down if you can't handle how to stand up. Oh, let me say that again for the people in the back ain't getting what's going on here. Sit your ass down if you don't know how to stand up. And if you don't know how to take a stand, then give a hand. Because clearly you don't know how to stand on business. So you might as well help somebody stand on business. I don't want to hear it. Let's go.
That he did it because Jobina Brown was pregnant. Now, the prosecution understands that this... Now, the prosecutors themselves could probably believe that Tee Grizzley is guilty, but right now, they're trying to prosecute Wu-Thing. So they brought the autopsy person or somebody, an expert, to testify that Jobina Brown was not pregnant. Tee Grizzley is a smart man, so he already understands that if the defense attorney is in court saying that you were the one who put the hit on your auntie, that came from the murder suspect, that came from the shooters, that means the shooters is already talking.
Right.
That means the shooters is already giving information to their
right.
And
a lot.
Use that to get him off. It's not looking good for you, man. And all that tells me, to be honest, is that the shooters believe the aunt was pregnant. They probably heard, this is why we're doing this. This is why we're taking her out. They probably was under the impression, yo, we gotta, you feel me, take her out because she's pregnant. And if that's the case, then maybe if Tee Grizzley is involved, then he probably thought she was pregnant the whole time she wasn't. Maybe he was told if he's involved, right? So if I'm Tee Grizzley and I'm hearing this information, if I'm involved and I know who I told this to, then I know they tell it. I know they talking already. And it's not looking good at all. Now, that phone is a number that's known to him. It is a number that he's been using for like his probation officer, his family and friends. That's his number. But because the phone is registered in somebody else's name, he's trying to get it dismissed, it's not going.
Because let's get right, fam. Hit that like button, subscribe. FAM in the building. Like fam just said, Saved by Grace says you can do that at the time. Alan_Brasi says, why smash your own auntie anyways? The F? Say that again, family, for the people in the back that didn't get what fam just said. Why smash your own auntie anyways? Lori, oh, it's sicker than sick. But fam said he smashed his auntie. So for y'all out there buying Tee Grizzley music, Tee Grizzley new album, Tee Grizzley whatever. Boy got a new song with Chris Brown. If you up right now, if you up right. Kill that shit! You over there having insects with your damn auntie. And you want somebody to support your dumb ass? Liam Anderson, that's real. First Day Out was a classic, just like Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt. But we found out Jay-Z's sick. Just like all the Diddy classics when they first came out. But he's sick. Just like Tyler Perry's Plays with Madea. But she's sick. Don't sit in here talking about what was classics and what was all of that and what ain't. Because it's sick. Watch your damn mouth when you come in here telling me what's what. I know what it is. But what was your damn antennas when you found out they was sick? Let's keep going.
They not dismissed it. The evidence stands. The driver who was in the vehicle when Jobina Brown was shot and killed, he testified that the shooting took place 45 seconds from when Tee Grizzley got out the vehicle. What that shows is Tee Grizzley was on that porch. That shows that there's a high likelihood that the shooters seen Tee Grizzley. Because from how the car is positioned in a picture of the house, if you're walking up to the back driver's side and you're opening it up, you can see over the car. Like, you can see the porch from that angle, and you'll be able to see a 6'3", 350-pound Tee Grizzley. You can't miss him. So if he was the target, you'll be able to see him. He was not the target. It doesn't make sense that he is the target. Now, someone who hopped on the phone with Tee Grizzley, someone who talked to Tee Grizzley after the incident and was told by Tee Grizzley what happened, I asked, yo, how did Tee Grizzley sound? Like, was he, like, emotional? The words that I was told, verbatim?
Like he was happy, like he was all good, everybody out the way type stuff.
Yet you went ahead.
It felt like he was trying to fake emotions. It felt like he was trying to, like,
care,
like,
and he didn't.
Something. Like, he was trying to sound like he was distraught. The person told me, bro, I can't really explain it, they said. It just felt like he was trying to, like, come across as if it was this and it was not. Sada Baby was also signed to Jobina Brown. Sada Baby was one of the people who came to
What's up, Mama K328? What's up, family? How you be? Hitting that like button, subscribing. We cooking. I appreciate you, fam.
Her body. And I was told that Sada Baby was distraught. He was effed up about this. I was told, but like, Sada Baby was looking at Tee Grizzley a little crazy.
Ali, hey, we don't like it either, but we here, family.
And told him, hey, bruh, tell me you don't got nothing to do with this. That even Sada Baby wanted Tee Grizzley to know, hey, bruh, tell me you got nothing to do with this, man. And that Tee Grizzley gave his word to Sada Baby that he ain't had nothing to do with this. It's not.
And that's been it since then?
It's not looking good.
Has that been it?
Now, the next court date is tomorrow. I'm going to have people in the court date.
Woo!
I'm going to have people in the room. We're going to figure out more details about what's going on. Because the defense attorney for the shooter is throwing Tee Grizzley under the bus. Now, right now, it don't feel like the shooter or the suspect is telling, because from their perspective, they believe the case is weak. Because once you throw out the cell phone evidence, at this point, it's kind of like, how do we put him at the location? So he hasn't really, like, fully told you, because they believe the case is weak and they can beat it. But once he's found guilty, once they put him right where he belongs, man, it's over with, bro.
Woo! Everybody used to like Sada and all of that. That's different.
Now, I was told the family, Jobina Brown family, has been very suspicious of Tee Grizzley for a while. And when I was told why, they said, listen, the family has been suspicious of Tee Grizzley because he continued to hang with the people that the family believes is responsible for the aunt's death.
He continues to, right.
AKA Wu 600 is from 600.
Right. That makes sense.
And
but why you keep rocking with the ops?
In his wedding last year was Buka 600. The family is like, come on, man. We not born yesterday, yo. If the hit was for you, then why are you still hanging out with those people? So it's not just us. The family themselves is upset that Tee Grizzley is still hanging out with the people that are responsible for the death of their, aunt, daughter, niece, mother, wife, etc., etc. What I can say, man, is this started off as a simple conspiracy. This started off as y'all telling me, Flacco, oh, you reaching, Flacco, oh my God, you police, Flacco. Am I still police if this is true?
Liam, I can see everything. In front, back, side to side, it's all good.
This ain't no street stuff. If this is true, if a wife and a mother was killed and she wasn't in the streets, she wasn't no gangbanger, she wasn't none of that, is this still street stuff if she gets justice? Is it? Yup.
See, the biggest thing about knowing if things are still street or whatever the case may be is understanding what's going on in front of you, okay? We know that this right now, this ain't street stuff right here. This is somebody murder for hire. This is murder for hire gone bad. This is what this is. It's murder for hire gone bad. And because it's that, you have to look at the situation. You have a YN, a young guy involved with a situation that he really can't get out of. You also got a guy, Tee Grizzley, that sat there and has been accused of dealing with his auntie sexually. You also have the situation financially of all the money that she's tied up and either didn't want to release or he felt like if she could get gone, he can just have the money himself with no problem. And then on top of that, he is still dealing and connected with the people that killed the auntie. Make sense of it, fam. There's no way you telling me that I'm sitting up in here trying to figure out if they didn't understand that we know what we listening to. If it quack like a duck and it walk like a duck, damn it, it's a duck. And we know that the money from a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, zillionaire, cajillionaire is all the difference in the stories that we hear constantly on what we got going and the way we got going it on. That's the difference. That's the energy. That's how we survive.
Backwards and none of that. Is this still street stuff if she gets justice? Is it? Y'all got it backwards, homie. Y'all got it backwards, homie. This ain't no street stuff, homie. They weren't at war. If Tee Grizzley is involved, and I say if, this ain't no street stuff. They weren't at war. They weren't into it. They weren't beefing. Yo, to me, Tee Grizzley already showed from the very jump. He ain't got no morals. He ain't got no principles. You was effing on your uncle's
on
wife,
your auntie
wife. Because when you go to jail,
the whole family shit.
The uncle got sentenced to 9 years.
Joey.
3 months into the sentence when Jobina Brown passed away. A 9-year sentence, bro, that's your ex-wife at that point. But if Tee Grizzley was effing on the uncle's wife 3 months into his sentence, that's a man that ain't got no loyalty to nobody.
Nothing.
And all he does is rap about backdoor.
And nobody. That's the difference. Trying to figure out how they coming on that. And you talking about somebody trying to figure out how this man moving and grooving and how he over there trying to shake people and do people wrong and see about how his family living and how they doing things. That ain't the case, fam. The situation that we looking at is understanding that this man has literally put his name tied up with his auntie in death. And then on top of that, he is still following the same people that had something to do with it. How the hell is you even knowing or got something to do with anybody that even got something to do with anything you could hear about your auntie dying? Even for you to get a whiff of anybody outside of anything of your friends or your partners or people you rock with in the hood, and you get a whiff that anything happened. What's up, Ashley in the building? You know it, fam. Liam in the building. Nene said coffee cake good with milk. Real life. But it's just the fact that they would even let that be that. I'm trying to understand. Dorothy G say shaking my head. Yeah. Because why would they even let that happen? Why would they even allow that to even be put into play? Why would they even think that that's okay, fam? None of that says any of that role plays a position in knowing that this man should be cleared. Nothing says to me that that man allegedly or something. No. Where I come from, where we was raised, how we was raised, we understood the situation and had to do everything with how you stand and who you stand for, because if you don't stand for nothing, you fall for anything. And that's the realness and understanding who was involved with this. Everybody that was involved stood on something, so we'll know who fall because of them doing what they did. I'm straight, cool guy. What's up with you, fam? Jay Brew in the building. We doing this. Let's go. I just want you to understand. When you got these young guys involved doing this type of stuff, and then Tee Grizzley is in a situation where he's accused of dealing with his auntie sexually, relationship-wise. Why would your damn name be in something like that? I'll wait. It's a difference on what we doing here. Paul says, do you know what it's like to be a millionaire? No, but I know what it's like to be Deala T in here with my family in no filters. Hit that like button, subscribe, family. We cooking, been cooking. Let's get right in here and understand what's going on. Always in understanding what's real. I need to know what family think in the building. This young man has been his life and been put on the line and been put on the line right now to understand that this man's name is tied up with his auntie's death. Auntie was his manager. Heard his money was tied up with her. There are so many things and so many elements of this situation that has been unfolded right before our eyes to understand that yet even though we think it's reality, we know what these actors are doing. What these rappers are doing, what these people are doing because of the situations they got going, all for what? The love of money. All for knowing that the love of money is the root of evil. Money has never been the root of evil. It has always been the love. And that's where you have to make a decision, family, and understand your love. Do you have love for the money? Do you have love for the desire to work to get money? Do you have love to save the money? Do you have love to work for the money? Do you have love enough to make the money secure you? It's not about money being the love of evil or the root of it. It's the love of money being the root of evil. Money will never be that. The Lord wants us to prosper with prosperity. And we could only do that with knowing that he wants this for you and me. As always, fam, you already know, family. Monday through Friday, each and every Monday through Friday, you tune in with your boy, Deala T. And this is No Filters. Good night, family. Be safe.